welcome back to my channel. For those that are new, welcome to my old subbies, my old babies. Welcome back, guys. It's a new year. I'm in a different environment, as you can see. I'm at Sharon's place. She's sitting over there. Say hi, Sharon.
Hi.
Say with more enthusiasm. Hi. And then we have Jessica over here. Jessica, say hi.
Why must I say
Are you guys moody or what? But anyways, they're here for moral support, watching me do this video for you guys. Yeah, this is my first sit down video for the year. I posted a video 2-3 weeks ago about my Cape Town girls trip, and the love I received from that video was like, you guys really came through for me on that video. So much so that I got like 1,000 hours of watch time, and I really needed that because I want to get monetized. So thank you guys so much for all the love. And to those people outside, please, what you see on YouTube, you keep on YouTube. What is this? When I go out, people are like, let's say the Cape Town girlie, what how do you go up YouTube as a believe? Nonetheless, like, the love has been really amazing, and I just want to thank you guys so much. For those that commented, for those that liked, for those that shared, thank you. Since the video, I've had so many questions like, how did you get the girls trip to get out the group chat? And I just felt like, you know what, I'm just gonna make a video just to explain to you guys how I did it and how it worked for me. And you know, you can actually take some elements from this video to plan your own girls trips. So first things first, I started off with a proposal. And let me tell you guys why I actually chose a proposal for this girls trip. I had been talking about this girls trip for a very long time. I think conversation started back in March 2022. So around March, Feb, you know, we started having conversations like, yeah, you know, we should have a girls trip. Yeah, we totally should go on a girls trip. Like, we should definitely do something, you know. There was just talks about it, but nothing actually solid. I don't know if you've heard this before, but people always say, when you have dreams or things that you want to do, write it down on paper so that when you see it, you can work towards that goal. And that is initially why I thought, you know what, let me just write this whole Cape Town girls trip on paper and then give it to my friends so that they have a breakdown of why we have to go on this trip, when are we going on this trip, what will we need on this trip, what are we gonna go do on this trip, what kind of trip is it. My proposal basically just had everything that you need to go for you to make a decision whether you'd like to go or not. And I sent the proposal out in May 2022. I sent the proposal to like 17 people, 20 people, around about that amount, of which I think 17 accepted, yeah, and then I created the group chat. So to break it down to you, my proposal had why we need to go, the dates, the accommodation, the transport, the activities, the food, and the costing. In my section of why we need to go, I just broke it down and said, you know what, we're young, we're sexy, we're making money, you know, we need to spoil ourselves some way, somehow. And that was such an easy, silly little piece to write because everybody was just like, yes, you know, everybody was really sold by why we needed to go. For the proposed dates, I actually had in mind December, which I called early bird. There was like early December, I think from like the 4th of December, somewhere there. And then we had the New Year, New Me, which was basically from about the 28th of December into January around the 4th. And then we had the Broke People Should Never Laugh, because that was going to be our January date, I think from the 4th up until the 11th. And that was initially the date we chose to travel, because it just made more sense. A lot of people want to spend time with family and friends during Christmas, Family Day, and New Year's. So for example, I go to church with my mom every New Year. So me having to be in Cape Town while she's at church wouldn't have felt right. And that's why initially everyone, you know, just kind of opted for January. So when I sent the proposal, that was what I had. When it came to accommodation, I spent so many nights on Airbnb, guys. I was just looking at places. Bear in mind, I had to look for places for 17 people. And that's when it clicked to me. Like, actually, Angie, don't look for accommodation right now, because you don't even know how many people are going. Like, don't do it. But me having looked for accommodation, it gave me kind of like an estimate of how much I think everyone should have at least for accommodation, so I could add it into my proposal. And that's why I was actually looking at accommodation. When it came to transport as well, The girls probably don't know it, but I had already made up my mind, guys. I was like, we're flying, guys. We're city girls. We're hot girls. Like, why should we be driving when we can fly? Why should we be driving when we work so hard the whole year and we need to drive? I was like, no, that's not happening. I told them no. In my head, I said no. I gave them the option though. I was like, look, we can drive. We can get a driver to drive. But no, I already planned out everything. I already had the flights, the prices of the flights. I had it down there, the proposal. I was like, look, flights cost this much. And I think at the time it was 2.5. And that was in May because that's when I was doing my research. So at the time it was 2.5 one way. So obviously round trip would be 5,000. And that's the amount that I also put in the proposal. So that was already a done deal. I don't even know why we even discussed driving because that was never an option. So yeah, we were gonna fly to Cape Town. Moving around in Cape Town, I opted for us to use an Uber because I just felt like, look, nobody really wants to drive. Like, honestly, let's be honest, nobody wants to drive. And imagine even having to drive in a place that you're somewhat familiar with, but not really. Also, I don't know if you guys have been reading all the hijacking happening in Cape Town. I'm like, no girl, ek kan dan nie gehijack word nie. Wat sal ek maak as ek gehijack word? Wat gaan se agreement is ouers as ek hulle moet teruggaan as hulle moet teruggaan met toe. So I was like, no, we're not driving in Cape Town. So we opted for not to rent a car. We said we're gonna Uber every place that we go to, and that's also why I had an Uber budget as well. For food, we decided that we were not gonna cook because we cook every day at home, guys. Man, I was not gonna go do that in Cape Town. We were not gonna cook, and we were gonna spend lunch and dinner eating out every single day. So that's what we did, and that's why I also included that in the proposal, as well as the food that we're gonna have like at home, because obviously we want to eat breakfast at home. We need to leave the house filled up. So I added in the proposal as well. So when it came to activities, I actually had like a little beautiful little activities itinerary, you could call it, where I'd actually ask all the girls, like, actually, what is it that you want to do? What do you want to do? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do paragliding? Do you want to do horse riding? What is it that you want to do? And from that, I included the duration of the activity and how much it would cost, so that we can figure out when we can do what. Because some days we can do 2 activities, some days we're going to do 1. For example, Table Mountain, it's kind of like a whole day activity or like a half a day activity, whereas, for example, paragliding was just like an hour, 2 hours, you know. So I also had that in the proposal and I sent it to them. So overall, in my proposal, when it came to the costing and the budget that I had to propose, I included the airfare, I included the Uber, I included the food, I included the accommodation, and I included the activities. So this amount was initially the amount that the group had to send to me, because I would then be making all the bookings. I would then be like basically be swiping my card when it comes to the food and the drinks and the whatever. So all the money had to be sent to me. But as things go, that wasn't how I planned out, and I will explain to you guys a little bit further in the video. But let's stick to when I sent the proposal out. So when I sent the proposal out, child, everybody was just like, yes, yes, yes. Like, we were so many in the group. And imagine I sent it out in May 2022. So we actually only started really planning, I think, end of July, beginning of August, around there actually. That's when we got serious. And the only reason we actually got serious with the planning of the group chat was because I noticed that even though we were all in the group chat, we weren't making any progress because no payments were made. So people were like, people could still just decide, I don't want to go any moment now. And I felt like, you know what, to secure the amount of people, we need to make a deposit. And the deposit that we had to make was for accommodation, because here's the thing with Cape Town. To get really good accommodation, you need to book way in advance. If you want to stay in a really crappy place, it's fine, wait, do your thing. But if you want a really cute place like the one that we had to book in advance. Like, that's the first thing we had to book. So then I asked the girls, I was like, guys, if you're really gonna go, please send your accommodation money so I can book this accommodation and I can get it out the way. And that's when everyone sent their money, and that's when I cut it down to 6 people only. So we came from 17 to 6, and that's just the reality of trips. Not everybody's gonna go, not everybody can make it, you know. So we were 6. That was our total amount.
Also, just a note, the place that we booked was in the city center of Cape Town. The reason we chose the city center was because we were all familiar with the place and it was close to everything that we wanted: waterfront, the clubs, Long Beach, everything. The price of this place was 20,800, and we actually paid it into 2 installments. So we made a first payment of 4,000, which secured the place, and the rest of the payment we made later.
Something also very important to note is that one of the 6 girls was Jojo, and Jojo's actually not Namibian. Jojo is all the way from Germany. The reason why Jojo was on the trip is because I'd asked my friends, when I sent out the proposal, I was like, please don't limit this to just us. If you have a friend that loves traveling and you know that they would absolutely love to be on this trip, please extend the invite to them, or please extend the proposal to them as well. And that's how Jojo ended up on the trip, because Jojo was actually friends with Justina, and she was on the trip and she became our friend as well. And that's why I think it's such a beautiful concept, a beautiful idea to just extend this invite to so many other people, because it allows for you to extend your friendships. It allows for you to make new friends, to network, to get to meet new people, and to basically just move out of your comfort zone, because like not a lot of people are comfortable with making new friends just like that. You don't even know where to start when it comes to making new friends. So that was such a beautiful way to make new friends and make friends with people that you share the same interest with, So here we are, 6 people in the group chat, ready to go, and boom, we ended up being 5, because Jessica then lost 2 of her relatives. So there was I think it was 4 days before the trip. And bear in mind, Jessica already sent her activities money. Jessica already paid for her accommodation. Jessica was ready to go, guys. The girl even had a whole lookbook for us. But I need to show you guys this lookbook. So this was the lookbook that Jessica had for us, literally breaking down what we should wear on what day, because Jessica's like the model in the group. So she was like, guys, we need to look hot, we need to look cute, we need to look booming. She was ready to go, but you know how life has it. We can't predict how things are gonna go. We can't say this was gonna happen, and because of that, Jessica couldn't go. And unfortunately, she also had to forfeit her accommodation money. I was such a nice friend, I was like, you know what, friend, I'll send you back your activities money, because I'm such a nice person. But she forfeited her accommodation money, but that was only because I'd already paid for the accommodation long before, and it was just gonna be I couldn't fork out. I don't know where I was gonna fork out the accommodation money. And she was so understanding, and she was like, you know what, I really understand. And that was actually one of the terms and conditions on the proposal. Once you make payment for certain things, for example, if I already paid accommodation, I can't give you your money back. But stuff like activities, because I haven't booked activities yet, because the weather in Cape Town is so unpredictable, you cannot make bookings of activities in advance. Table Mountain was offline for 2 days. We could only go on the 3rd day when we initially wanted to go the 2nd day. You understand? So a lot of things were only booked when we were in Cape Town. I was able to then obviously give her back activities money, and that was that. Yeah. So we ended up being 5. We're there in Cape Town. We got there. The flight was amazing. Everything was great. We just had such a good time. When we got to Cape Town initially, the only meeting that we had really was just to go buy food. And the reason why this trip was so successful and why it was so easy going is because everything was already set out and how much everything would cost. We knew what we were gonna go do. We knew how much it was, and it was just for us really to have the money to do those things, which we already knew way in advance how much we need to save for. You knew that you had to save for activities. You knew you had to save for food. You knew you had to save money. So everybody already knew what was gonna happen when we got there, and that's the importance of planning. So there isn't a confusion when you get there. Okay, now guys, now what are we gonna do now? Where are we gonna go now? But everything was already laid out for us on paper, and that's why it was just such a breeze. Very important. So I actually had an itinerary, and it looked like this. So my itinerary just break down every single day what we're gonna do. So Monday we're gonna do paragliding and we're gonna have dinner wear. Tuesday we're gonna go shopping and we're gonna do this. So it actually just broke down what we're gonna do on what day, and that also made it so much easier. And I actually also had a day that I just said, you know what, girls, go do whatever the hell you want to do. This is your free day. For those people that want to do shopping, go do shopping. For those people that want to do, what was it that you wanted to do? Robben Island. For those people that want to do Robben Island, go do Robben Island. It was just I gave everyone a day to do something that they really wanted to do, and that was very, very important, because you must understand that people are very different. As much as you guys have the common kind of like interest of traveling and whatnot, you still are different. Some people just want to go sightsee, some people want to go to the museum, some people want to go chill and relax, some people want to go have massages and spas and all of that. So you need to have days or times where people can actually do what they want to do as individuals or as like two in a group or whatever, you know. So that was very important, and I allowed that on my girls trip as well. Also very important on a girls trip, remember to stick together. Don't let people go by themselves. And I know you guys watched the video, because I actually had someone ask me like, how could you let Jojo go in the car? Guys, Jojo was following us. She wasn't just gonna go and end up somewhere else. Like, we were going with the same group of people to the same place, and that's very important. Like, you need to stick together, especially in a foreign place. Even when Sharon wanted to go to the beach, for instance, at 6 o'clock in the morning, Justina, Sharon, and Jojo went together. We never left each other behind. You know, when they went together to the beach, the two of us went home. We were never like separated. Nobody was like alone going to places, because you must remember that you're in a foreign country and you don't really know a lot of people, so you need to stick together as well. But also, like I said, if you want to do something, at least do like two in a group or something. But that's also something that I really had to note for the girls trip. Nonetheless, I think, yeah, for me, the girls trip was a complete success. I'm very, very proud of myself, and I'm also very, very proud of my girls, because they definitely came through. They did what they had to do, and love them so much. If there's anything that I would change in this girls trip, I don't think I would change much, other than I think it would be best for everyone to send their money at once. Because remember, I don't know if I mentioned this, but we bought our flight separately. So I booked my flight first, and then I had a reference number which I sent into the group and said, if you're gonna book your flight, this is the reference number that you should use. And that's how we ended up on the same flight. When it came to like obviously sitting next to each other, it wasn't a problem, because we just checked in online the day before, or I checked us all in using their booking references basically. So there's not really a rush in terms of booking things together when it comes to flights, because not everybody can do it at the same time. So just note that as well. Activities, everyone kind of had their money. They just sent it to me when we were there. And for food, everyone else just sent it to me when they were there. But again, like I said, I would definitely just change it in terms of like, I'd like to have the money beforehand, so there isn't really that confusion. Because let me tell you, Sharon had us have financial meetings every other day. Like, guys, come please, we must have a finance meeting. We must talk about money. We need to send Angie money. So to avoid like all of that, and it takes so much time, we sat in that kitchen for like 2 hours trying to do the finances and whatnot. So that was something that I would change.
So our trip was planned within a period of 6 months. I would recommend to save up about 20 to 25,000, because that's how much I spent on this trip. That excludes shopping, but it includes like spending in terms of like food and drinks and all of that. So 2025 is a safe amount. I actually forgot to mention this very crucial part of planning, but you notice the day after we arrived, we went to Kaba Beach Club to go watch Major League perform, and we only found out about those tickets like I think 2 days, 3 days before we went. So I think the best thing to do is just do your research, see what shows are in town the time that you were there, and then book your tickets in advance, because it's obviously cheaper.
I wouldn't change anything else. The people were great, the destination was amazing, and we had a blast. I'm so excited for our next girls trip, and I hope it will be a success the way this one was. So yeah, if you have any questions, or if you are planning your own girls trip, and you'd like some guidance or advice, don't hesitate to hit up my DMs. Like, I am completely open. I've also down below, I've shared the link to our Airbnb. I've also shared the link to my proposal that I made. So yeah, you can obviously just hit me up. I can assist you, and I just hope you guys really loved this video and took something from it as well. Please, 2023 should be a year of girls trips. It should be a year of exploring and traveling and living your best life. Guys, we are young, we are sexy. We need to go out there and live our best lives. So please, yeah, let me know if you guys having fun. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you guys loved it, liked it, whatever, just enjoyed it. Please don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.